right, so we're going to be talking about elevating ROI, and we've got some fun interactive experience prepared for you. I've been doing this professional speaking for 22 years globally. And so teaching and training leadership development, sales and service, and how to optimize your return on investment of time. So I'm very excited to be able to share with you a little bit about this important topic. So this is our focus. We're going to talk about questions that reveal the answers. So unlocking sales and referrals, how to do that. How many of you, that's an important part of your business, is unlocking referrals? Yeah, and having sales, yes, absolutely. And then we're going to talk about options and strategies for reoccurring revenue. How many of you like to have it cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching? Okay, let's just do it together. Cha-ching, and cha-ching, and cha-ching. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so questions are the answers. It's not, do you need products? Do you have what you need right now? Can I provide you anything more? No. Let's open up the dialogue and ask questions that really reveal the answers to serve and support our clients in the best possible manner. So I'm going to share with you a quick tidbit and secret. You may want to jot this down, or you can take a quick pic of this. This will support you to expand the possibilities in the mind of the person that's in your chair, or you're providing the aesthetics and services for. So let's talk about open-ended questions. Just do this without touching the breasts next to you. Yeah? Okay? I know, gentlemen, it's men next to you. Yeah. Okay. So who, what, when, where, and how. These questions open up the dialogue. They create an exchange with the people that you're connecting with. Versus, will you be at the appointment on time? Could you think of somebody else that could benefit from my service? Have you ever? All of this is yes or no. So what do you do when you get a no? It's kind of like, where do we go from here? Are you interested in the shampoo that I provided for you? No. Versus, what do you like most about this experience? How does that feel in your hair? What does that texture, what are you noticing? What differences are you noticing as a result of consistently using our products? Do you see the difference versus will you, could you, have you, did you? You're going to want to remember this because we're going to do a quick exercise in a minute. What do you think makes this distinction important? Closed versus open. What makes this distinction important when you're working with people? I want to hear from you. You open up the conversation. And what do conversations create? Connection, feedback, trust, relationships. I've been seeing my hair hero for 22 years. Why? Because he doesn't talk at me, he connects with me. I have a relationship with him. He will walk through walls to make sure I can get my appointment. I tell people, they're like, where are you going? I can say, I'm going in for maintenance. They're like, oh, is the car being repaired? I said, no, I'm being repaired. I'm going in for maintenance. I'm going in to see my hair hero. And they're like, oh. And why do I see him? Because he'll walk through walls to ensure that I get an appointment. He knows when I'm calling, it's an emergency situation. And it's either today or tomorrow. I've got somewhere to go, I've got people to see and places to go. All right, so questions are the answers. It's a speed of trust situation. So when you are asking the questions throughout the service, people feel an allegiance and alliance to you. So in all relationships, I highly encourage questions become the answers. And also you're asking, this is the posture. When you're asking, you're curious. You have a wonderment. When you're asking, you're interested. Interested makes you so interesting. Interested is interesting. It was a great book that came out with an author that he boarded a flight and he was doing an assessment. He was kind of like discovering how people interact on planes, okay? So he is on this plane, these people are talking to him. After they get off the plane, there's a camera crew waiting for them. And the camera's like, what did you think about the man you sat next to on the plane? And city after city, place after place, they would say, he is the most interesting person we've ever met. City after city. And what was fascinating is they didn't know his name. They didn't know where he was from. They knew nothing about that man. And he was the most interesting person they had ever met. Interested is interesting. So when you're interested in the client, then you become interesting when you're ready to share, when would you like to book your next appointment? What did you enjoy most about this experience? Who could benefit from the results you're experiencing with our products and with our service? You see the distinction? Versus, that was nice. I'm underwhelmed. Versus, I am elated that I had this opportunity. All right, so we're gonna do a game here. I know there's a few of us in the house, but I wanted to be able to share this with you because this is an ally perspective. It's a tool for you to be an ally. How many of you sometimes feel like you sabotage your business? You sabotage some relationships. You can sabotage your success. We all have forms of self-sabotage where we don't escape that. This is a way to transition from saboteur to an ally perspective. And I want to share it with you because this is so important in our business and creating a scalable business. So yes, and game. So what we're going to do is sometimes when you have a thought about a product or a service that you're going to integrate into your business or into your practice, what are some of the things that you say to yourself? Or someone recommends something to you, what do you say to sabotage that option? Maybe that's too expensive. So sticker shock. Maybe that's too expensive. Okay. I'm too old. I mean, gosh, I don't have so much time. I'm too old. Okay, great. Thanks. What else? What is another way we sabotage an option? Just say no. And oftentimes, do we really know what we're saying no to? We have no idea what we're saying no to. Sometimes those invitations unlock doors that we could have never imagined were possible for our lives or our businesses. So the yes and game is for you to be able to yes and what I appreciate about that idea. So when somebody comes and they share with you an idea that they have for their business, an idea that they have for their services, share that idea, and then yes and them. Yes and what I love about that idea is. Yes and what I appreciate about that idea. This is an additional thought to add to that. So this perspective, I encourage you to be yes and to yourself, but then yes and to other people, versus using the common term, no but. No but, that wouldn't work. No but, that's not how we do it. On the other hand, I don't agree with you. However, all of those words, just do this with me. But builds barriers. But, bring out the but. Drop the but, the B-U-T, okay? But builds barriers and builds bridges. If we want to create greater relationships, we will yes and more people. We will be more likely to say yes to things versus quick on the draw to say no to it without having all the information. So I'd like for you to just do this with me for a minute, humor me with it, find a couple of people in your area here, and share with each other. This is an idea that I've had to multiply and scale my business. This is an idea that I've had to grow my clientele list. This is an idea that I've had to increase my revenues in the salon. Whatever it may be, go ahead and share with a couple of partners, and yes and see what you can come up with. All right, go ahead. Ready, set, go.
Is it to share or just like
Okay, thank you, partners. Thank you, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. So what did you come up with as you were having this connection? Anyone willing to share?
Absolutely. Well, I found something and we just had a conversation because they kind of do it, and this is where Phoenix is perfect for this. We refer each other. So you're getting your hair done, and she's sitting there going, out like me, like, you're looking a little busted when I was barking, right? And who are you going to refer though? You know that girl that's going to do the best nails. So you can, even if it's not in your salon suites, look around. You don't have to be insular. Go out in the community and say, I would love to be your referral source for whatever it is that you do.
Yes.
And yes, and you can do that for them too.
Yes, and. Yes, and. I love it. Oh my gosh, Angie, thank you so much. So expanding, like, rather than being narrowly focused on what you have to offer, what you're doing, expand that audience and reach and those connections and those relationships and see where that can take you. I love it. Yes, thank you. Anyone else with an experience they'd like to share with the yes and game?
She came up with a great idea. Now she's been shocked.
So she came up with a great idea.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and.
Yes, and. I'm going to speak to that for a moment, if I may. I was at, I do a lot of volunteer projects for various nonprofit organizations, and one of the volunteer projects I was doing this exercise with them, and what they said is one of the most important ways that we, one of the most important things that we do as an organization is innovate, and that innovation directly impacts the resources and funds we're able to raise every single year for our programs in the community. And this yes and game is a tool for innovation. So if you feel stuck in your business, if you feel like it's the same old, if you feel like you're getting by, implement this and expand the possibilities with a power partner. I call them an empowerment partner, where you are finding people that you can have an exchange with, that iron sharpens iron. You're amplifying each other. You're bringing out the best in one another. And watch how that becomes a magnet to draw into your life and into your business all that you prefer. So yes and is a great strategy and tool to be more on the allied side versus the enemy. I love this quote. When there are no enemies within, the enemies outside cannot harm you. When there's no enemy within, the enemies outside cannot harm you. So first and foremost, you're going to be an ally to self. And second, you're going to be an ally to others. There's more than enough to go around. We are not in competition. We are not. There is if you have an abundance mindset, you will recognize that every day. Oh, I had a lady one time come to me, she goes, I know you probably wouldn't want to teach me how to do, facilitation and to speak. And I said, what's that about? She said, well, I'd be your competition, and, I don't even speak on the same topic, Grace. And I said, actually, I live in Hawaii, by the way. Yes, it's rough, someone's got to do it though. So I'm like, I could not work with a block of people in the rest of my lifetime. One block downtown in our city and serve all of them, let alone the global world that we're contributing to. So I said, we're good. There's no competition. So what I like about your idea is this. This is a great practice. When people are sharing with you an idea, rather than nobodying them and resisting their idea, welcome and embrace it. What I appreciate about your ideas, what I love about your ideas, and sometimes that's going to be you saying to you. You may not have champions in your life, but if someone's got a champion, it better be me, better be you for self. So keep that in mind. So let's talk about recurring revenue. So we talked about communication. We talked about engaging people versus convincing them. If you're convincing someone to buy from you or you're convincing someone to experience your service, you're probably dragging them. And they're probably not going to stay with it. Versus engagement. Those questions will support engagement with your clients or prospective clients. So let's talk about recurring revenue. Who here cuts hair? Or who here does aesthetics? What is it that you do? Hair. Okay, great. Love that. Anyone else?
I'm a waxer.
You're a waxer. Yes, we all benefit from these services. These are essentials. Okay, what else? Anyone else? So we've met chiropractors, massage therapists, we've met a man with non-invasive, bedazzle here. The contour stuff, yeah, non-invasive bedazzle, contour. Yes, an inch off, I'm heading that way next. Okay, so when that happens, well, after you cut hair or you wax or you do an aesthetic, what does your client often do? I feel so much better. So they thank you. They acknowledge the experience. Yes. And they often what? They tip you. How important is a tip when you've provided a service? How does that impact your bottom line?
Well, I'm from Europe, so tip is a little bit of a different thing, and now, I told my clients, like, my prices are what they are, and if you want to, you can, but it's, I charge what I'm worth, so that's extra, but that's extra. That's just my.
Yes, you're from Europe. So a tip is a nice extra. It's not expected, but it's a nice extra. For a lot of people in this profession, it's an important part of their service and their income on a daily, weekly, monthly, and annual basis. So I want you to think about cutting a person's hair or waxing or doing some aesthetics, and then you receive the tip. And then next week, you didn't even cut their hair, you receive another tip. Next month, you got a helpful tip, and another one the next month. And another hot tip the next month, and another tip the next month, and another tip. Isn't this nice? Who's loving this? Who's loving this? For the same haircut, the original haircut. This is what happens when you introduce someone to a product that they love, but that can be drop shipped. So whether they come in to get their haircut, or they come in to get waxed, or they come in for a facial, you're still receiving a royalty on that initial introduction because you introduced them to a product that gives them results and that works. That also usually increases the demand on your service. Who would like that? Increase in demand, you're seeing them more often. Thank you, yes. Let's just raise 2 hands. Yeah, let's do some jazz hands here. Woo! Yes. So you did the service, but you're getting the tip over and over and over again as a result because they love that product and that experience, and it doesn't impact your inventory. It doesn't matter whether your doors are open or closed. They're saying, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. And that's where the strategic brand alliances come in, and that's where we can talk with you about that at Elevating People ROI. So let's look at some strategic brand alliance considerations. These are some things for you to look at. Is it a highly effective, consistently consumable product that increases the demand on your service? So is it something for a person that does hair, is it something that's gonna help grow, if it's something that's gonna help grow their hair? Is this gonna be something that where they've gotta come in for more, on a more regular basis for cut, color, or extensions moved up? We know a product that can do that. What about a client loyalty program? Meaning, how many of you had a product and that you've introduced to a client, and then they can go down the street or into another city with the salon is carrying the same product that you introduced that person to, but you're no longer getting paid for it? How does that feel? Just go. Thank you for the sound effect, Ange. I love that. Seriously, it's like, gosh, I put time, energy, and effort into introduce this person. So strategic brand alliances, you want to have a client loyalty program. You want the person you've introduced to be connected to your account, so every time they order, you are receiving remuneration. You are benefiting from that. What about inventory? How many of you currently have an inventory of a line of products in your salon suite? No? Anyone have an inventory of some sort? You do, yes. So what does that mean? That means there's inventory controls. That means that you're outlaying resources and you've got to be moving that product. Think about what happened 4 years ago and your doors were forced shut. That product wasn't moving unless you were posting it online. So being mindful of, all right, no inventory requirements, products drop ship directly to your consumer and you are paid. Whether you're paid daily, you're paid weekly, you're paid monthly, you are paid over and over and over again. All right, and quarterly. So increasing affiliate sales. Let's just talk about this. One is your influence. This is my professional recommendation. This is what you're sharing with me as the challenge. This could be a possible solution. This is important because people trust you. Oftentimes they trust you more when you're in their chair than they do their doctor or regular care provider because you know them. So what are some of your recommendations that will optimize their experience with you? I often ask service providers, what are some of the recommendations that you make in order for people to maximize their benefits from your service? What are some of the products? How do you make decisions around the products that you bring to market? What is it that you're looking to accomplish? What do your clients seek you out for? Keep these things in mind. So when you're having these strategic conversations around brands that you could align with, having those conversations with them so that you come in to be creating a movement of product and reoccurring revenue. Also to drive traffic to your site. One of the products that we have an alliance with, I mean, people come in and they're like, where's the white box with gold wings? Where's the white box with gold wings? And they're like, yeah, my friend, I can see the difference in this, and this. I gotta have it. They don't even know the name of the product, but it's driving a new audience of people to their location as a result. So just gonna drop that down. All right, let's just go here. So brand alignment strategy. I'm available to do that with you if that is something that you have an interest in. You would share with, I'd go through a series of questions asking you about what you're currently doing, what is your current market, how are you wanting and looking to expand your market, and then we would go through some specific brands that would align and target your audience that you could leverage as an influencer. So I'm going to touch briefly on Salon HQ, which is a phenomenal platform that we've partnered with, and that is the reason that we're here today. So it's a one-stop shop software system where you have your own storefront without having the storefront. So at no cost to you, where you can leverage brands that Salon HQ has brought to the table. They vetted to ensure that it brings you the greatest return possible as you're working with your clients. One-stop shop, hover over the QR code, and boom, you're in business. Okay, so I'm not going to go into details on this specific slide. You can definitely screenshot it and share it. But these are some of the ways that Salon HQ is partnering with brands. They are working with numerous salons and salon franchises, and they are thrilled to partner here with Phoenix. So definitely want to check that out. It's more than a mere sales platform. Their focus is on you, the person that's servicing the people that are coming into your storefront. So keep in mind that it's not just when you look at the short term, your business is the people in the chair. When you look at sharing a product that people are consistently buying, whether you reintroduce them or not, that is legacy income for you. And that is the strategy that most people overlook. They look in the moment versus look in the now and into the future. So we learned a lot over the last 4 years. These are strategies that have been vetted. I mean, there are people that we've introduced to some of these brand alliances that have thousands of customers. Like they are really impacting their bottom line numbers. So we would love to have that complimentary session. I'm gonna give you my contact details, or if you want my card, I have it here. I can certainly connect with you on that. And thank you for being here today. Woo! All right. Any questions that you have, any comments? Yes, please.
The Salon HQ, like, they don't have a store, I mean, a store for you, the online store with them. And let's say I want hair, it's already in it, we want hair products. Do they already have it, or I can account with it?
Ah, yes. So they vet specific brands, and you can select what you want to display as your storefront. You also can select products that you could say, hey, I love this option for collagen. I don't have a collagen that I'm recommending to my clients. I'm sending them to Amazon, and I'm not getting paid for that. So I've got, Salon HQ has a specific collagen that I can align to, or here's a glutathione that I'm really passionate about. Salon HQ has a beautiful glutathione, or here Salon HQ has vetted a weight loss product. So you can pick and choose which product ranges you would want to present to your clientele, and then you're in business without an outlay of $10, $20, $50, $100,000 in inventory on a variety of brands that if you can't move, you could experience a loss with. Hallelujah. All right, anyone else with a question or thought? Yes, Ange?
So I'm helping them carry brands for that. If they don't have it and you want to sell it, you want to let me know.
That's your person.
I want this. Go figure out how to get it. I want to make money on it.
Yes. That's the lady to know, Angie Bortolatti. So thank you for that question. Anyone else with a question, thought, or comment before we wrap up today? Yes.
In Salon HQ, I know that you require a license in order to open your storefront, right?
No,
No?
no. Angie would be your person on that. Yeah.
Is it like a monthly subscription?
No, it's completely free.
But you get a percentage when you sell something.
You get a percentage, and so does Salon HQ.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get a percentage and Salon HQ gets a percentage, and it's unique based on the product. See, different products offer different margins, so you're going to experience different options. But we can also have that as a strategy conversation as well. There are some specific things. If you know what your clients are looking for, we probably have a solution as to what you could provide in order to maximize that opportunity. Because it doesn't make sense to have products or to refer products that you don't believe in or that aren't going to get your people the result. Yes? Health and wellness. Oh, absolutely. Atlanta is your go-to contact as a board-certified naturopathic doctor. Your wellness, your beauty from the inside out, to amplify what we're doing externally and maximize it, partnering with what's happening internally to create the best possible outcomes. And you'll be known for that.